I've won and lost against the best. This old road's been a hell of a test. But I'm still driving, I ain't slowing down. There's rules I'd love to break and bend, mistakes I've made again and again. But I tell you this, my friends, I'm still around. I hit it hard, man, so far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man, till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, living large. I hit it hard.
To another podcast of Average Goats. I'm Pappy, along with Michael and Joel Henger. How are we doing today?
Real good.
Good. Been a nice couple of days of weather here in northwest Indiana, that's for sure.
Especially coming off of Florida weather last week.
Yeah.
Florida weather. You were in Florida?
Was.
Yep.
You should have faked tan because you have no color.
Golf trip.
Golf trip.
He put SPF on.
Didn't apply one time.
Did you do the Joel Damon bucket hat maybe?
Nope. Didn't apply one time.
Or the SPF
Really?
long sleeves.
Didn't apply
big fan of
sunscreen.
those.
Wow. Rebel without a cause.
Yeah, it's debatable.
Rebel without a cause. I'm going pasty. Oh, man. So, how you guys doing? And let's jump right into it. Century Tournament of Champions.
Well, we're going to depend on you for that update.
I'm sure you guys watched the replays late at night back at the lodge.
I watched it. That's
I
for
did
sure.
not.
Especially the back nine.
Yeah, the back nine, it was. It looked like it was just going to be. It looked like TV was going to have a hard time filling in all the dead air because it was just like the Colin Morikawa show, and then he was up. Well, Rahm actually bogeys the first hole in the final round, and at one point, Colin's up 7, and ends up just. I mean,
He was still up like 3 or 4 with the back nine to play.
Morikawa was up 7 strokes at one time during the back nine and lost by 2.
the final round for sure. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I mean, his chipping was worse than yours, Michael. It was.
My chipping's actually not bad, but
Mine is- mine is awful.
Your chipping cannot be any good because I just saw the scores.
9-shot swing.
Burn.
Avalanche
Yeah,
of strokes.
No shit. 9-shot swing in the final round, huh?
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
probably 10 if he bogeyed the first hole.
So he was starting. There was little hiccups here and there, and then the big one that was 14. He left it just short, pitched it up, and
It looks like you have to give credit where credit's due, though, because
Rahm
he shot
balled.
72 and
He
Rahm
played
shot
it.
63.
You got it going.
Correct. Rahm shot 10 under. Absolutely. But I think if the question is, was it more of a Rahm come from behind victory or a Morikawa choke? I think more not than everybody's going to say a choke because the chipping on 14 was just insane. Like, you can't make that mistake. Like, they were saying it on air. You just go deep.
So for the guys that watched it, you would say Morikawa choked. For the guys like myself that didn't watch it, if I just looked at the scores, I'd say John Rahm had a day and won the tournament. Morikawa goes in with a 7-shot lead, shoots even par, right? That's par 72 or no?
No, it's par 73.
Okay. So he's 1 under.
Yeah, it's
And
one under. But go back in your Google machine there and look it up. Look at the scores those guys were shooting in the final round of that day. There's a couple 9 unders.
the one I got to go check
6 unders
is
probably like the average, wouldn't you think, Joel? Like 6, 7 under is like the day around there.
I think the first day was a little tougher conditions, and then the next 3 days were go low because it was.
I mean,
unbelievable.
Keegan Bradley shot 70 on the final day.
You're not gonna let that go, huh? Hey, he still made a bunch of money. A bunch of money.
But, I mean, I think Colin Morikawa looked exactly like a lot of us average guys look, chipping.
My pick, Finau, shot 66.
It was something got in his head, obviously, those last handful of holes
Well, it
that
kinda
he
started-
could not get
It
past.
kind of started Friday because he was just in front of the green on 18 and 2, kind of chunked a chip, ended up with like a 16-footer-ish, and couldn't make that and made a par. And it was like Azinger was all over it. He's like, this is the weakest part of his game. This is what he's working on. He's having issues with that lead hand and the cupping and the not cupping. And he just kept saying if this gets in his head, it comes out at, crunch time, prime time. And he was just not – it totally was just a total head job. He just totally mind screwed himself. It was unreal.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that all of us go through, I think, throughout a golf round and throughout our games, is trying to. I mean, I've been working on it the last week after our trip last week, where I had similar issues or had one of those or two of those around, where I'm just like, what the frick?
Mm-hmm.
What just happened? Why did that happen? And spending, there's a wedge in the living room at the house and in the basement that I'm just sitting there just taking swings at.
Are you hitting foam balls, ping pong balls?
No, golf balls into the net.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's just it's a frustrating thing, and you're just trying to figure out, okay, how's my path need to be? You're going onto YouTube and trying to find chipping videos and pitching videos and trying to figure out what.
I got to bring myself up to speed here with this one he just blasted out of the bunker.
Oh, over the green.
I've done that plenty
Oh
of
yeah,
times.
I'm surprised he didn't go back and smash the sand with his club and say there's not enough sand in there. That's usually what all those pros do, especially Bryson.
Well, he's not a whiny little bitch, though.
Yeah.
And it was the hard part about watching him unravel. I mean, it was like watching a car accident in slow motion. He is such a nice guy. Like if it was like a Patrick Reed or a DeChambeau, right, or Patrick Cantlay, it would be fun to watch. Somebody that kind of comes across as like a little bit of a prick,
Yeah.
that you would take enjoyment in it. But this was hard because he seems like such a nice down to earth guy.
I mean, it's not like he finished that strong last year.
No, last year
So,
was more.
like last year was just,
Well, he had the chance at the Hero and he unraveled, right?
yeah. But
Yeah, but last
still,
year it was a loss
no.
of he lost his cut. He started hitting a draw or a straight ball.
This seems like something you would build off of, just improve the chipping a little bit and move forward rather than making a bigger deal like Zinger is probably.
I think once it got in his head too, he probably was pressing more because he's such a great ball striker with his iron and stuff like that. Like, and his score shows that. But I think like as the weekend went on, he pressed more because he didn't want to be chipping, and that's where it led to some more missed greens and these opportunities for, these yips to rear its head.
I mean, I'm watching some of these chips right now.
They're bad.
These pitch shots. This is average goat shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Average, like the one he just chunked and it came back down the slope at him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get a 72 out of my round doing that kind of shit, but
This is like 60 yards and in off of a drive in the middle of the fairway, and you're like, I'm dialing in here. I'm going to get it close. And then next thing you know,
you pull 60 instead of 50, and next thing you know, it's like,
yeah, it's just club goes nowhere, and it's ugly.
Yeah.
But at that point, you need, and I'm to that point as well, you need somebody a professional to tell you like techniques, like what you need to do in a chipping or pitching situation.
if you're gonna,
You
I don't
can't
think
go
that's what
pro.
he needs.
No, I'm
It's
just
more
saying from us.
Don't they say analyze leads to paralyze? Like,
just rock the table.
yeah.
Jesus. Don't mind that jerk on the camera over
Yeah.
here. Nothing's going on.
Michael, pull your pants back up. What the heck is
Yeah,
going on
no
over
kidding.
there?
But yeah, I think he'll get it figured out. I think he'll be fine. One of our points here is, do you think he'll recover? I think he'll be fine.
I think he does recover. I think this is like, I think this actually is going to end up helping him in some weird way.
yeah.
I think, yeah, you're right. He overcomes it and then he gets hot. Kind of like, remember like Rory in the cabins on the left side of 10 at Augusta, and he has the big meltdown collapse, and then he wins at Congressional that year at the U.S.
Yeah.
Open in like unbelievable fashion, something like
Yeah.
that, or Jordan Spieth collapsing and then winning, the British Open after the Masters collapse, even though he had a Masters. Like, I think this propels Morikawa into that, because let's not forget, he was doing stuff that only Tiger did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Winning at such a young age as how much he did. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think he'll be fine. Any other thoughts on any of the other players in the field?
I like. I think one of my picks this year for a major winner was actually John Rahm. I picked him to win the U.S. Open, so that's boding well right now.
John, I am the number one player in the world golf rankings.
Had a lot of complaints about that, didn't he?
Man, once he got up on that chair for the post game interview, he was.
I think
Is he number one now? You overtake Rory?
I think he said in his last 10 events, he's finished not worse than the top 7,
I'll just give you the cliff notes.
and he won like
Yeah,
3 times.
fill me in.
He's the top dog, and everybody else that disagrees with him is full of shit. Is pretty much what he said in the
Yeah.
interview.
Yep.
Good for him.
But yeah, he pretty much That's pretty much what he said.
I'm not a huge Rahm fan. So.
Yeah.
He's just
we
trying to
can
figure.
see.
He's just trying to figure out how Patrick Cantlay is ahead of him in the World Golf rankings.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Play better for a longer stretch.
But he also says that I think I read that he hasn't finished outside the top 7 in his last X number of events, but you didn't really hear about him.
Well, I mean, he won like the Spanish Open. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. That's a great win, but that's like when these guys go down and win the Australia Open or something like that.
That's like a 50%er.
Do you think that's a bigger event, or do you think it's a bigger event when Cantlay wins the American Express Championship or
Right.
whatever he won on the West Coast swing last year? So, yeah. I don't know. Sounds like a whiner. Just go win more, and you'll be number one, right?
Yep. Another guy I thought that stood out a little bit was another one that I picked to win a major this year. Last name Homa. Finished in the top or T3, I think. So
He got it going on the weekend. He looked pretty good down the stretch for sure.
nuts. So yeah, I think it's going well.
What did you guys make of the whole tucked shirt, untucked shirt thing that Spawn? It was like it morphed. Social media went crazy about his button-up, untucked shirt. It was like, is that a bowling shirt? Is that a Hawaiian shirt gone bad? It was. When I first saw it, I sounded like a old curmudgeon. I was just like, "Oh, that looks sloppy as shit. What
can't
does
do
this guy
that.
doing?" Yeah.
That's not how you're supposed to wear golfing. There's got to be rules and bylaws for that.
Gambling's illegal at Bushwood, and I never slice. Yeah, it was. I don't know, but I don't know if. Do you think this is a look that takes off?
Is Rahm, not to cut you guys off, is Rahm having a little, with these 7 events thing? Because that's not indicated on the 21-22 results here.
Well, some of those weren't PGA Tour events, I don't think.
He's only got like 10 PGA Tour events that he played in.
Yeah, he played in, I think, like the
I see
Australian
a
stuff. He played in
34th,
the
a
Spanish.
55th, a 48th.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he really played a lot either because he had another child and he didn't play a lot in the fall season.
Yeah.
The untucked gate, I think it's just the way kind of things are going with
More casual.
apparel and the look.
Would you
of
rock
today's.
it?
I would.
You do the button up, short sleeve, untucked golf shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was a full button up?
It was buttons all the way down.
All the way
Short
down.
sleeve.
Well, more like a bowling shirt then.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, there's been
Said that already, didn't you?
there's been a couple times where I've looked at
The big moose today is killing it.
Mm-hmm.
there's been a couple times where I've looked at apparel like pants and stuff and looked at like the cuffed ankle, buying those to
Kind
wear.
of like what I'm rocking today.
Could be. I don't know. I haven't looked.
No, you're rocking
I mean,
floods.
Kelly Fricky's not a fan of them.
You're rocking floods with ankle socks. Don't even get me going.
But I've looked at them, and I'll probably buy a pair at some time. I may do it.
Really?
I might do it.
Are you talking about the ones that look like a jogger down
Yeah.
the... Oh, God, no. Don't
Yeah.
do it. Okay.
It's a style, Pap.
It's
Yeah.
not a style. No, I'll
It's a
tell you this.
style.
I'll tell you the name of that style off the air.
I think it's like who was it? Danny Willett that wore the hooded sweatshirt or whatever.
I don't know if he was the first one. I mean, JT wore one as well. DJ,
yeah,
I think,
the
wore one.
lightweight golf hoodie I think is okay.
Yeah. But I think it's similar to that, like the untuck it thing, and I think it'll be fine. I think it'll probably take off more actually.
I mean, would an untucked shirt ever be allowed at Augusta? Likely not, right?
What do you mean would it be on? Why?
I mean,
Remember when
they
Tiger
make
came
the
out
rules,
with
they
those
set the
mock,
precedent.
shirts, the short sleeve mocks, and everybody was like, he's not gonna wear that at Augusta, and then he did it and won and dominated.
Those were the most ridiculous things ever.
I want one so bad.
I have 2 or 3 of them.
I want one
Those-
so
those-
bad. What are you talking about?
You are anti-jogger, but
Dude,
you like the mock.
I
No.
love the old 2001, 2002, like the baggy pleated pants. Come on, and the big oversized
The
shirts.
Dockers.
No, not those. Those are bad. There's a guy that wears those every day over my house.
The pants.
The Dockers that he's talking about.
I got the
How did
pleats.
you order those extra starch? They look like
This
freaking
guy's probably a subscriber.
Oh yeah,
Oh, my
one of the
They're
7
like-
followers.
cardboard Dockers. Anyways, yeah, don't do those. I don't like those elastic cuff things down at the ankle. I also don't like
I don't mind them.
some of these pants these guys are wearing. I mean, if I could see that you got 2 dimes and a nickel in your pocket, I don't need to be seeing that
Wow,
either. Like,
he's not after the tight pants.
no, and most of these guys, I mean, well, never mind.
They're fit.
Too
They're
tight.
trying to show themselves off. It's part of their
Sure.
brand.
Sure. You know how Tiger does it with a fist pump and his biceps bulging out
And
there,
winning?
just showing. Yeah, and winning.
Yeah.
That's fit, as in fat. PHAT.
At some point, yeah,
bank
that was the
account.
case.
I
but
mean,
not as of
not to
recent.
just throw
He's
a
a
different.
billion-dollar athlete again.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Tom Brady.
I didn't
No,
say he wasn't.
Lost all of it on FTX. Did it not to throw a different subject in this conversation right now, but not like we don't do that all the time, anyways. Did you see Tiger's promo video for the TaylorMade Stealth, new TaylorMade Stealth
Did
2?
not.
Yeah.
Is it pretty good?
Nah, it's just generic, but saw him in a video.
There you go.
That's he's probably leading the PIP now because of it.
I didn't think they were doing that anymore.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah,
I thought the
they're
PIP was
actually-
gone because
They
of
added
that.
money
just,
to it.
They're just talking about that. They might have to penalize him because he can't play enough events.
What's his name said he would not penalize him.
Oh, Monahan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
course.
he's becoming like a Goodell. He's screwing up everything sometimes. I mean, some of the stuff he comes up with is just such garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm totally against untucked shirts, but I'm against the bowling look, like all the way buttoned.
That's what Liv's going to turn into with their terrible team names. The Bashers from.
Another CFO or CEO gone.
Yeah,
Or
they've lost
saw
like
that.
3 executives in the last
Executive,
5 months. It's
yeah.
crazy.
The guy that was in charge of like all the team sponsorships and advertising and stuff.
I heard something on the radio the other day about that. It was like, if they can't get a TV deal, if they have so much damn money, why don't they just go buy a TV station?
Or
True.
start their own.
Or or do like what the Cubs did, Marquee Network, no?
Yeah, I mean that's what.
Where you subscribe to it?
It's just an app.
Like the
I don't-
Yankees
I don't
did that with the
understand
Yes
why they
Network.
just don't develop an app and just put the content on there. Make
Well,
it
they did.
make it.
I'm following
did
them on
YouTube.
social media, dude,
Yeah.
and they are doing shit like back from like
Did you see the
late,
mock- the
late
mock days?
90s.
They're doing shit from the mock days that you were a fan of.
Yeah, Dustin Johnson was wearing one the other day. No, but it's like old social media plays, and it's kind of garbage. It's like Dustin Johnson from the side of the driving range. Like,
So what I didn't get was the one that we posted the other day, where it was just like a gray or a blacked out image of someone, and they said they said wrong names only, or who you think it is wrong only for Live Golf. Was that something advertising towards a new player that's going to be announced here soon, or was that just a joke?
I thought it was a joke. It was more of a fan thing that posted it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wasn't sure.
Now, I guess if we had average goat button-ups with little goats all over them, that wouldn't be bad, huh? You'd wear that?
Goats on a
They're
tee.
not ordered yet.
Untucked?
They're not ordered yet.
On the line still.
On the line, in the process.
What's this note I see you've got drones on here about?
Yeah, so that was the TV coverage. So, did it feel like an elevated event? Did it not feel like an elevated event? But I thought NBC brought their game. They had Azinger in the booth, which I don't know if he's always at the. I don't think the main TV guys are always at the TV coverage. Maybe like back in the day again with Tiger and that, they would have the main guys there. But like some of the times it just feels like it's
Being watched from their
still
home
like
or
a
something.
fall golf tournament, and they just kind of have it on at night and more people are watching it. But like this one, it felt like they tried to make the presentation better because it was an elevated event or whatever the hell they're calling it, but didn't really feel like that. But the drone coverage was pretty cool. They had the 18th hole down the hill there as the balls are rolling out forever and ever and ever over 400 yards. They would drop this drone into the scene and then follow like right above the ball. It was pretty cool. I don't think you could do it everywhere.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it's cool when you come across those videos on
Was it-
social media where guys have got a drone and they hit like
And
on a
it
par
follows the
3
ball?
and it's following right behind the ball and watches it drop. I think that's badass.
That's how this morphs eventually, though, right? Because they're always trying to like push the envelope of new ideas and
Yeah.
different ways of presenting this. Like, how do you not do that at the 16th hole at Scottsdale coming in a couple weeks?
Yeah, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
That'd be freaking
Just zone
killer.
drones zipping back and
Zone,
forth.
just right over it.
We
Just
we
have
we had a
couple-
similar instance in our trip last week. There was a drone up there above us.
Really?
Oh, taking up the roofs.
No, I don't think so. This was way up there. It was Sunday actually at Palmyra, the 4th or 5th hole. I heard this buzzing and I'm like, "What in the hell is that?" And then it's distinctive, so it's like, "Oh, it's a drone." It was way up there in the clouds.
Is your hangover?
Huh?
The buzzing was actually made up. It was your
No,
hangover?
no.
Okay.
But
Was-
I think there's probably way more that they can do with drones in the game of golf, so they would be added for the viewer's pleasure.
Oh, for sure. Because You know, I kind of think about it like baseball coverage, right? Whenever they try something different with baseball coverage, like exit velocity or how hard that ball is. I think like the older generation, the purists are kind of like, oh, why do I need that? You know, but like it's for the newer people to bring more people to your sport to watch it because I
Yep.
don't think you ever lose the diehards, right?
You wouldn't think so. I mean, those were the true anti-live guys, right?
Yeah, they'll mute it,
Yeah.
right? So
So how elevated was it if Rory wasn't there?
yeah, I don't. That's a big concern, I would think, because if he's the poster child, if he's the new flag bearer, right, and that's the first one out of the box, doesn't he have to be there? Don't you think?
Makes sense.
Maybe it's a birthday, family member birthday or something.
Maybe it's traveling.
It was
vacation.
more about traveling to make sure he's in Abu Dhabi. He didn't want to be out there and then trying to come back and then.
The
Jet lag.
time difference.
Yep.
It's like a 6 or 7 hour difference in Hawaii.
Because he's not flying on a plane that he can't just sleep the whole time.
Which we rail for a year about. Don't take whatever. I'm not gonna get into that, but then we're gonna miss the first elevated event to make sure we're at an event over. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Him and I believe Shane Lowry were the only ones that
Weren't there?
weren't there for the elevated. So now they have to be at the rest of the elevated events the rest of this year.
Yeah, that's a little nuts. It's a lot.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, 20 events is a lot. 19 events is still obviously a lot.
And then like Schauffele didn't
And what-
finish, so does he lose?
Did he finish 2 rounds?
How many did he play?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, is that the rule? You got to finish 2 rounds.
To me, that would make the only sense would be you have to play at least 50%
Actually, he
of
didn't.
the event before you WD.
He didn't finish 2 rounds. He
Yeah.
withdrew midway through the second. He shot 70 day 1, right?
To me, I wouldn't think, but I'm not in charge. 19 events is a lot. 20 events is a lot.
So is there going to be some of those 19 events that wouldn't be ones he would normally play in that are elevated?
Oh yeah, 100%. These
Yeah,
guys
but-
are normally only playing like 15.
But what's cool is what I found out this week, since we talked about it last week, was 3 of the events will rotate every year.
That's
So
that's
like the
nice.
Travelers won't be one every year. That's going to be one where if someone raises their hand and says, "Hey, by the way, I sponsor this. I want an elevated event next year. I'll pay the extra money to get you to 20 million or whatever it is."
So kudos to the PGA Tour then for
For stealing our
getting
idea.
getting a few more sponsor bucks for elevated events, huh?
Well, they're going to have to pay for it somewhere, right?
You want one? Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, though, what if everybody just ponies up and that's just the new price that you set?
Right.
And now you have 25 of these things.
Every single one is an elevated event.
And I don't want to play that course because this doesn't suit my game and I'm out of misses. And I wanted to play this event, the John Deere, because they gave me my first professional start, or I
Yeah.
like playing in that event right before a major. And
I think a lot of the elevated events are already a part of the tournaments that these guys are all playing on their schedule. There's going to be the 5 to 7 that aren't.
Well, I mean, if they're already in some fashion getting sponsor dollars through one of those companies in some fashion, they're already always there, right? Like Bubba Watson's always played the Travelers Championship because I think he's had some relationship with them.
Yeah, not anymore. But
Yeah, correct.
well, yeah, that's what they're kind of saying about the Heritage, because it was RBC, so all those RBC guys would have to be there. I don't know. It just seemed when it first came out, it just seemed like some of the events that they made elevated were already kind of like the Arnold Palmer. Like,
right.
That's already elevated.
Right. Like, why did we elevate that one? I would have
That's-
elevated.
That Florida swing, right? Isn't that part of the Florida, that 3 tournament with Honda, Arnold Palmer, and well, there's one other, right?
Yeah, Valspar.
I think so. That they've always hiked up, right? Those 3
Yep.
bigger events.
And then it usually leads to the players,
I think,
or is it right after the play? It leads into the players now because they switched that around the other year too.
yep. Yeah, it's right because the players, the players is back in March, right?
Yeah,
I don't think it's before it.
it is.
Is it?
Yeah, because then it goes players, and then there's like a week or two, and then it goes Augusta. No.
So what was the rules, or they have to play in every single event and they can only miss one?
You can only miss one of the elevated. Yep.
And if they miss one, if they miss more than that, then they don't qualify for the purse or the end of season purse or something, or
I don't know the ramifications for it yet.
They probably don't even have those rules out there.
it doesn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
matter. They just
You
don't.
probably get a fine that they don't share with anybody.
You get a letter.
Or they just don't get to play in any. Just whatever.
Yeah, so if something comes up with Rory's schedule and he can't play in another one,
Yeah.
what are you going to do to Rory?
What
He's
if he
your
gets-
face.
What if he gets injured? Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to get our hands on those.
The rules?
There are no rules. So, looking forward to this week. They fly 30 minutes and they go to another island over there in Hawaii. Call Mark Rolfing if you want the name of it. I can't figure it out. And it's the Sony Open, Michael. The Sony Open.
More whales.
More whales. Hey, I did learn a new cool fact about whales watching the coverage, though.
Oh, my.
So they load up and, like, carb up pretty much up there in, like, Alaska and shit, right? And when they go down Hawaii for however long they're there for, they don't eat at all.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
Was this?
Do you think it's a real fact or just like Mark Rolfing making
Was
up
this
shit and throwing
Rolfing
it out
telling
there?
you this fact, or was
Of
this
course it
like an
was.
actual?
He's Mr. Hawaii.
He's like a professional fisherman.
Who?
Rolfing.
Fishing and whaling is totally different, right?
Well, whaling is illegal.
Yeah. It's
Gambling
not
is
illegal.
illegal.
It's just frowned upon.
I think it's illegal.
Anyways,
Like masturbating on an airplane.
Oh, my.
I don't even want to know that part of the
Frowned
Florida trip.
upon.
I don't even want to know that.
Isn't that a hangover line?
If I do this in the bathroom, am I part of the Mile High Club? No, no, you're not. What's this members only jacket for? What are you guys looking forward to this week at the Sony Open?
Maybe just watching a little bit of it.
That'd be good.
It's a good place.
For these
to,
purposes,
good
at least,
place
that'd be
to
good for us.
start. So I'm not just in here clueless.
Yeah.
I always think the last two holes are two pretty cool holes. That par 3 along the water, 17, and then 18, that par 5. That I think they played as a par 5. Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Where they bring the in-course out of bounds into play on the left. So that's usually a good hole. Usually see some eagles and some.
This was Hideki's massive 3-wood last year,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
Pretty cool shot.
always some excitement there on the 18th, especially if it's a close one on Sunday.
I don't know why, but I love the W palm tree thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cheesy, but
Yeah.
it works for me.
Is that on 17 as well?
I thought that was 16,
Okay.
maybe? Yeah, it's definitely towards the end.
Yeah.
This course actually flips its 9 for the tournaments.
So that's
So
why.
if you go out there on vacation, you'd be like, wait, this doesn't look right. You're going to, yeah, they flip them for this tournament.
Just so the finishing hole is better, or
I didn't read there wasn't a reason behind it. It just said that in the superintendent notes when I was getting them.
yeah, let's
place-
hear those. Let's hear
This
those.
place also does over 60,000 rounds a year.
Seems like a big number.
It's a very large number.
It's
Yeah,
a lot of golf for 18 holes.
it is. It's crazy. Yeah, par 70. So they go from a 73 to a 70, 35, 35. It's one of the shortest courses on the tour. It's 7,044 yards. And there's still 50 acres of fairways somehow.
Which we determine is also a big number.
That's freaking large. Yeah, large. And I talked to them the other day. Their greens are at 11 right now. They're hoping to get them to a 12 by the weekend.
Yee. What kind of grass do they have there?
A lot of Bermudas.
It is still.
Mm-hmm.
God, that course sucked.
Hmm.
The one we played, that was Bermuda.
Right.
Lele. It was Bermuda. It was all soft and bunch of
Oh, yeah, there's a couple. The greens were fine, but the fluffy stuff around the greens was
bunch of
tough.
sand and softness between the turf
Bags
and
of sand.
yeah.
We got a big
Just the
trunk.
you never make there would never be any compression on it. It was always just kind of fluffy and up high on the face.
Got to compress the ball, Joel.
So she's
So it's pretty crazy. 8 of the last 9 winners have played the week before at the Tournament of Champions. So I guess if you're looking for your betting odds, you want to look for guys that are coming from the Big Island or the what island to this island, right? And
Yeah.
maybe because they're getting back into it a little bit better, that they got a tournament underneath their belt after the holidays. What do you think the reasoning of this is? Because the courses are completely different. This one's like more flat, more traditional of a course, whereas the last one was like coming down the
Yeah.
side of a mountain, right?
I guess part of it would be like how many of these guys go from the Century to this one to play. There's a fair number of them that go play it.
I think
This
so.
week coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once you're over there, you're going for both of them.
Yeah,
So-
some of the names are Spieth, Tom Kim, Adam Scott, Billy Horschel, Hideki, Brian Harmon, Keegan Bradley, Corey Connors, Tom Hoagie. Tom Hoagie might need to have a good week here because he traveled to watch that national championship game from Hawaii, and then he's traveling back for the Sony, and an all-time kick in the ass. That kind of sucks.
Jonathan Bird back in the field.
You think he net jetted it, or did you think he badged it, whatever that
Oh,
is?
he, Robert, whatever his name is, badged it.
He badged it with the complimentary car at the end?
I would probably allude or point to some of those guys just being probably relaxed, you know, being out there in Hawaii,
I mean,
swing the club all right week 1, and then still in a nice state of mind going into week 2. And
KJ Choi's got a big chance to win.
He is that's one of the beauty parts of this tournament, man. You get some, holy shit, that guy is still alive.
the real question would be, is he have any irons left in the bag, or is it just all hybrids right to like wedge?
You're thinking of
No, KJ Choi plays crazy amount of hybrids.
what's his name that beat Tiger up at the PGA that one year?
No, Y.E. Yang?
Yeah.
No, he's thinking of
I'm thinking
Shingo Katayama with the half of an Australian hunter's cap, and he was hitting like 9-wood iron. What?
KJ Choi has a lot of hybrids.
You watch this. I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit this right here.
I don't know if you can talk like that.
That was a good Michael Scott impersonation of doing Pang. That was really good. He's been watching a lot of Office lately. Shout out to Peacock Network. Unreal. But yeah, one of the other stats I had here was out of the last 2 years, 51 of the players that have played the week before in the Century Tournament of Champions have gone on to make the cut. So for your gambling needs, again, just think about that. That's 42 of the 51 made it. It's 82.4% make the cut here.
Are we looking for like Hard Rock to come give us some props in here to
Sure, if they
help
want
their
to.
sports betting?
Yeah, they need it. Their book's not doing too good over there.
No?
No. But I would think of that, and then again, horses for courses. So you got to think of the guys that play the short courses better. Webb Simpson,
Shocker that he's on the list, huh?
Yeah. Russell Henley always
Not really.
plays well here.
Russell Henley.
I think he's won
does,
it a couple
yeah.
times.
He's been right. Well, he just lost in the playoff, right?
Yeah.
To
Playoffs.
he lost in the playoff to Hideki last year.
Honestly, before I got on this list, Henley was on one of my
Oh,
picks.
boy.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
As well as Horschel.
Oh, there you go.
Billy Ho.
But then I'm thinking Russell Knox.
Billy Ho.
Russell Knox may have won this event.
Some other names you were bringing up, KJ Choi, Rory Sabatini. Forgot about him.
What depends which hat he's going to wear.
And what country he's playing for.
True.
Well,
Is that bronze winning Rory Sabatini over there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. Zach Johnson,
He's playing?
he's playing. Ryan Moore. What kind of odds do you think you get on the old Ryan Moore bet there?
What's his game been like lately?
Non-existent. I haven't heard of that name in like 3 to 4 years,
It's
right?
been a while.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ever since he started wearing those sweaters out there.
I mean, Aaron Badley, I think, has won this event.
Button-up sweaters.
Do you think KJ Choi and Jerry Kelly know they can't take a cart this week because it's not a senior event?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever you guys are doing over there today, you got to knock it off. That was crazy.
Where did that come from?
My drink water app.
Was it really? He's blaming us, and it's him. Time to hydrate.
Oh, it's a reminder?
Yeah.
Drink some water?
Yep.
Does it say high noon, or does
gotta-
it say water?
I got to piss now so bad.
Thought somebody
I
hacked-
thought it was your.
somebody
I
hacked
thought
it.
we both looked at you like your way you drank your coffee or something. The mic picked it up.
I thought somebody hacked this thing.
Your moose cup has a leak.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Keith Mitchell plays well here.
I think Spieth's got a good shot this week. If you said he's in the field,
Is that who you're taking?
I'll take Spieth.
Wow, another chalk pick. How'd that work out for you last week?
I picked Finau last week.
Yeah, didn't work out good.
T7, that's perfect.
T7, big tone.
All right, who you taking, Michael?
Spieth. I'm riding hard Spieth hard this year.
Whoa.
Pappy?
Did you see the thing about Spieth? New Year's Eve, his babysitter was Tom Kim.
No.
Yes, they have the biggest budding bromance right now,
Oh my.
and Justin Thomas is pissed.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's his bromance.
Well, you never know with JT because he's always like in there with Tiger.
Yeah, he wants to be friends with you until Tiger calls him, and then he goes
Yeah.
run over to Tiger's house.
And I'm sure
eats sugar-free popsicles and shit.
I'm sure he's butthurt with Tiger and Rory's. You know, for
Joint
the longest
venture.
time it was JT and Tiger, right? Tiger. But then it seems like all of a sudden now Tiger and Rory have this connection and bromance. JT's on the sidelines until the PNC every year when they're talking about him being a brother to Charlie and all that shit.
Just a 20-year difference.
Hmm.
Pappy, who you taking?
Well, I just gave you guys a shit ton of great stats on, and I have no reason why to make this, but
You're taking one off your list?
I'm not. I'm not even.
You're going Adam Scott, aren't you?
I am not. I do like Adam Scott.
Oh my! Because
Hey.
he thinks about those pleated pants from 20 years
Career
ago.
earnings of $60 million. He's in the top echelon of making money on the tour, but I'm going Harry Higgs. Harry Higgs has been
making a
running
comeback,
He's
huh?
been running his mouth on a lot of social media platforms about live tour guys.
Tiger,
and this and that.
Liv.
So he's
Didn't
you know
I
what he's
drop
gonna
that
do?
name last week, Harry Higgs?
He wasn't even in the tournament. He
No, because he doesn't have.
2 weeks ago.
He's on partial status, isn't he, or
Yeah.
something?
he needs to back up his mouth here.
So you're
So this is my 1 week for Harry Higgs, and hopefully he backs it up. Otherwise, he wrote a check that his ass can't cash.
and otherwise he's not playing much golf. Period.
I'm sure he'll be at Scottsdale to show his man boobs again with Joel Damon. I'm sure, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go JT Poston.
JT Post.
Talk about coming out of left field.
Yeah, where are you coming out with that one? You got a hot tip?
Nope.
No.
You look at the,
Just like him.
Okay. No reason.
Nope.
Just saw the name and was like,
It was either him or Joel Damon.
probably nobody else has picked JT Poston to win this.
No, 0.
what kind of odds? Look that up real quick. What kind of odds would you be getting on a JT Poston? Because that might be a good bet.
I don't even know where you'd look that up.
You would look it up on
FanDuel or somewhere there.
FanDuel. JT Poston. I'm on it. Plus 4,500. So he's kind of chalky. He's right in between like Harris English at 4,500. Matt Kuchar 4,200. Oh man.
Well, yeah, because
Cooch
he can only
could-
afford to pay his caddy $5,000 this
Cooch
week.
could use some good
That
golf.
was Mexico.
Cooch could use a good place.
Exchange rate must have
I
been
mean,
better.
JT Poston's got better odds than Webb Simpson. He's got better
Yes.
odds than Gary Woodland.
Hey.
This is kind of crazy
Why do you think I'm picking him?
because you're picking chalk. Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to double check too. I don't even know if Harry Higgs is in this tournament anymore. I think he got cut. That's crazy. I don't even see him anymore. There he is. Plus 16,000.
Write that down.
You better put some money on him then.
Plus
If you're going to take him.
16,000.
Put a buck on it.
Back that
That
up.
wouldn't even be my best win of the year.
Back that up.
My best win of the year was plus 34,000 on Cam Smith to win the Players, but can't talk about him no more.
Well, you can.
So you can't talk about Cam anymore.
February 6th through the 12th.
You can't triple save a double.
Hashtag the People's Open. We should go.
What?
Hashtag the People's Open.
The
Phoenix
not this
Open.
year. I'll go next year. I'm not going to go this year.
Why? In
The
Florida?
Super Bowl's there the same week. It's gonna be crazy. They say they're having issues with the pro-ams. Like too many people are like, I'm
Wanting to
going
play?
to play in the pro-am, and they're like, yeah, you can't. And he's like, it's Tom Brady. Like,
Why don't they just have 2 days of Pro-Am then?
I know.
Don't they charge these guys?
gotta have practice rounds, right?
Usually
Money's-
like 10 to 20 grand, I think, to play.
No way they're charging like Larry Fitzgerald,
I think they
an
all
Arizona
have to.
Cardinal wide receiver to play in the pro-am.
I think they all do. That's probably where a lot of their sponsored money comes, or their
There's no way.
not sponsor money, but charitable monies. I bet. I guarantee you.
No way.
Those guys are all stroking a check to charity for it. Let's figure that out.
I don't know. But here's
We can ask what's his name.
Let's do this though for a bet. What's the number? What's your guess of how many people will be in the crowd at that tournament on Saturday?
I wouldn't even know where to
200
pick a
grand.
number.
200,000.
200,000 people? Yeah, it'd be crazy. We'll have to look into it in the next couple weeks and come up with a guess, see who could come the closest.
201.
$199,999. Joel wins by one. What do you overbid? He overbid.
Can't lose.
$1, Bob. $1. So, what's going on with your games? How was the Florida trip? What do you need to work on? What was Let's go with the good thoughts first. Let's go with the good news. What was that you liked about your game, Michael?
I feel like I rolled the putter pretty decent, actually.
Rolled the rock good.
Didn't
Thank you, Bettinardi. Did you get any of that on film?
I didn't get any of that,
okay.
any Betty bombs on film, but
Uh-oh.
I didn't make a ton of putts, but everything was pretty much right around there. Lagged it well, you know. Made some par saves when I needed to. Made a couple birdie putts, so.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did you make a birdie around?
No.
That always sucks when you don't get one birdie.
There was one I think I didn't have a birdie in. Actually, two, because I had two birdies in the final. Finished the 17-18 the final day, birdie.
And you didn't stay for another day? You didn't be like, oh, sorry, babe, the flight got canceled, and I can't get out until Wednesday. Especially with everything going on with flights right now, I would have pulled that one.
Yeah.
How do you leave on a heater? That's like hitting the number on the roulette wheel with $500 on the number twice in a row. And be like,
I played
gotta
really.
go.
I
He's
played.
basically going to say he made birdie net, is what he's saying.
Oh,
Otherwise,
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm teasing. It's a joke.
I actually the finals 9. I was the best golf I played all week. Played.
the final 9
Pretty
holes.
solid, yeah.
You're probably getting in a groove.
I was, yeah. After the tailbone injury,
Excuse me.
we can edit that
I
out.
tried
We
to
can
cover
edit.
up the microphone.
We can edit.
I tried to-
It's not.
Thanks for your help, guys. I thought
Bless
we were
you.
joking or anything.
It's gonna pick up your. It picked up your water notification. It's gonna pick up your sneeze.
Probably just coughing up a bone. Snots, you get over here.
He got it up.
Joel, what'd you like about your game down there?
I drove the ball pretty well.
And what is in the bag right now, driver-wise, for you?
I could say I drove the ball pretty well but I didn't get to hit driver very much
Okay.
because of the yardages that we were playing at.
2 drivers, so we hit it well.
Yeah, so I'm playing the TS.
So you're getting off the tee well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm hitting the TSI 2
Okay.
Titleist. And then I purchased late last year, I purchased a TaylorMade Stealth 5 wood. That is probably,
Snuck that one by us. I didn't even know that. Did you, Pappy?
goes probably like 250-ish.
Oh yeah, I bought a.
Oh, bragger, yeah.
I bought a simulator for Christmas.
Yeah.
It goes about 250-ish off the tee and pretty straight, but it's a
5 wood?
But it's a 5 wood that
A
it's
monster 5 wood.
but it's
My
a-
driver doesn't even go 250.
But it's the first 5 wood I've owned. I've only owned a few of them. That it doesn't have that like boring upshoot ball flight for me. And it also at address doesn't seem like it's just got a ton of loft on it. Most 5 woods I've ever had.
So is it shut down like a degree or something like that?
It's,
You ever owned a
It's
5 wood?
I have one in the bag.
it's not adjustable, so it's just standard ops.
Okay.
Now you're going to add a 7 wood too?
Maybe.
What
Might
are you
go.
thinking
7
about? Are you liking it enough to try the driver?
No, I've tried the driver. I didn't like it. On the driver, the ball just sits on, or when you make,
At address?
not that it'll make sense to anybody, but maybe me or somebody equal.
Where are we going with this?
But it just
Not you. He's talking to me. He's
when
looking
you-
right at me. Why do you got to make it awkward?
when you make contact with the ball, it just seems like it sits on the face.
You can feel the compression.
You can feel the compression, and it just seems like it stays on the face a little bit longer, and I don't like that.
Isn't that where
You
get
don't
that extra?
like it?
Isn't that
I
where you
do
get
not.
that little extra pop?
Off of what club?
The Stealth.
Isn't
you're not
that
gonna keep this in
I
the
mean,
bag?
it's a carbon face,
No,
right?
you're
Isn't that where you
asking
get
about
that
the
little?
driver.
Oh, okay.
You
I
asked
thought
about the
you
driver.
went back and talk about the 5 wood.
Hey,
No, because
it's-
the 5 wood doesn't have that polymer.
It's a soft face, isn't it supposed to do that? And you get that little extra.
I didn't like it.
I like when you have that feeling, the compression like that, because I feel then you can work the ball more. Work it.
But yeah, I drove the ball pretty well. Putting wise, I had 1 3 putt, and I hit the green and rig too. So
How
that
many
was
putters did you bring with you?
Just one.
Just one putter, and which one did you go with?
I took the Hive SS38 that I just got back.
Nice.
Putted okay.
He did make an iron change. Did you play with those the rest of the time too?
Yeah. But
The ones he didn't want to bring down?
The MP20 pickup for $200 at our
The
local
ones he was like, I
J&M
can't believe
shop.
I'm going to be overweight on my bag now, and
Yep.
I don't want to bring
Yep.
it. Oh, go on. This is some breaking news.
the best putting day, though, getting back to the putting,
Hold on a second. Did the irons come back with you from Florida?
they did.
Oh,
They're
yeah, because I
supposed to
figured.
stay.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, he just does not bring up a lot of stuff that we should be talking about.
The best putting day I had, though, was the last day where the greens rolled the best of all the courses that we played.
And where was that at?
Palmyra.
Okay.
The greens rolled out. They had some good.
That course was redone, what,
the
3 years ago?
The fairways were redone last year, and the greens, I think, the prior year.
Yeah, that rolled well.
But they rolled nice, and I think that was the reason why I putted better and made more putts was because the speeds were a little higher, and I wasn't like jabbing at the ball to get
So you guys
there.
were able to play Palmyra, Mustang Susie.
Lely, Mustang Tour,
Don't beat them up.
the Forest, Bobcat,
Colony.
and Colony.
The Forest.
It's up in Fort Myers.
No, yeah, that's the 36-hole facility, correct?
Yeah,
How
great
was
place.
that? Yeah.
But they were a little rough just from Hurricane Ian stuff. So there was a lot of fairway areas where they had to,
Flooded.
yeah, they
Water.
patched, took some grass out, and put some new sod in there.
Okay.
Iron change.
That course is not easy though, I don't think. But
No.
Iron change. How did it go?
Iron change. So Friday's round we played at the Forest, right? No.
Saturday.
It was Saturday's round we played at the Forest, and on our first par 3, I pull my 5-iron current set.
You changed those on Friday, I'm pretty sure.
Saturday or Saturday.
One round, what you played with the other set, the Colony.
Yeah. My 5-iron head, the epoxy failed, and it was just basically like Vaseline, so I just was able to pull the head right off.
Wow.
Well, that's $5 on the nightstand for
Put a
you.
little Vaseline on there,
And so I couldn't use my 5-iron on that par 3. I changed to a 3-iron and actually stuck it to about 10 feet. I had to take a little off. But I switched.
I would hope.
I don't think the iron play was terrible. I was just frustrated with my first round, and so I was like, fuck it. And I switched to some MP20s, and
And what happened?
Talk about deal of the year for 2022 with those MP20s.
So,
I don't remember what I shot Saturday's round. 73, I think.
so are these going to stay in the bag, or are you just going to wait until the 5-iron gets repaired and you're going to put that set back?
Yeah, probably. Because I have another set of Tacomos that I bought for indoor golf this year. Just as because playing indoor golf at simulators, it's awesome and a good way to keep your swing kind of just swinging more or less. But it wears your clubs out, hitting balls quicker or continuously. So that's the only difference that us northerners probably aren't used to is
Damn Yankees.
if you're playing golf all year round, your clubs get wore out quicker. So that's kind of what I noticed with our first year of simulator golf last year was my wedges were getting worn out quicker as well as my iron faces.
Okay.
So just FYI.
Let me hit this pause button real quick on the recording device. Were there any good stories down in Florida? Not for air? Or for air? No?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Well, that's good.
No, other than
Nobody had to be bailed out of jail?
Just golfing. I mean, I had a little run-in
No.
other than
at a place.
Uh-oh.
With security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
The
Casino?
Tiki
Hooters?
Bar, which is a nice little hole-in-the-wall joint behind a beautiful Days Inn down there.
Okay.
Fort
Myers, Naples?
Fort
it's a
Myers.
Fort Myers
Might be a sterile
property address.
maybe.
Anywho, I apparently forgot to get a friend of ours a bucket of beers, so I thought that maybe I could
Cut the line.
cut the line to get him the bucket of beers that I forgot to grab, and happened to mention his role or position, and the security quickly came over and was going to remove me, and then he had a brief conversation with them, and everything within 30 seconds was tip-top shape. Tables were cleaned off. What can we get you?
Mm-hmm.
JG.
You played the
I did. I pulled it out.
You don't know who I am card?
Didn't.
And it was your buddy's name.
No, I didn't use his name. I just said
Who he
Correct.
worked
I
for.
gotcha.
who
I
he,
gotcha.
yeah.
I got you. Wow.
And the bartender was like, "No, there's a line of 40 people." So then security came over, and then a brief conversation with JG though was like,
God. Oh my God, that's
It's funny, but it was not surprising.
that it was Michael involved.
oh,
I
boy.
could see him. See, I had a direct line to seeing him. He was over there just The ladies were probably like, "Who is this freaking psycho?"
Oh my God.
No, the funny stuff for us was probably just the golf, more or less, the guys and what they were shooting. Those are always entertaining, and to hear them talk about what they're shooting and how they got it all figured out. And
Just typical guys golf trip stuff. You're having beers, you're drinking, and shots get a little loose, and then to hear somebody talk about that shot or replay that scenario, it's just entertaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Day one at the Colony, let's see, I was the third group off, I believe. So obviously everybody gets the benefit of watching the groups until your last group when there's nobody behind you, right? But there's a little pine needles and some brush off to the left, and we were talking about how many guys are going to top it into the pine needles, right? And of course, two of us do, or at least two of us do. D. Frank and myself proceeded to put it in damn near almost the same position. And Dave was actually my roommate for the week, because long story, but he and I laughed for about 20 minutes one night talking about how he and I were combined 5 over on that hole.
Solid.
Those are pretty funny stories because people are just like, I was even par or something, or 1 over through like the first 9 on a 9, and then the next thing you know, they shoot 84 or something, and you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah, like Huffine the last day starts birdie, and then the next, he throws up a quad. Just funny shit.
Birdie, quad.
Yeah.
I'm plus 2 through 3. I'm playing good with 2 birdies. What?
Because every day, every round is set up as a ABCD foursome. So you play with all those guys every day. So you get to see some stuff that that you may not be used to, and it's just interesting to sometimes listen to those people, and then why they're a C or a D player, because they just are thinking totally wrong on shots and their swings. You ask them information, and again, I've played all these courses at least once, most of them more than that, but the one that we've only played once, I was trying to remember some spots and lines, and the guy that's a member or whatever is like, "Oh, you just 5 yards right here on this line, you're good." And I'm like, "No, I want like a 30-yard wide gap for like a miss. I'm not looking for like a specific line that I can hit it on. If I hit it on that line, if I hit it right, it's gone. It's OB. I don't want that line." Just talking through those things. It's just funny to listen to them.
I did get to hear.
They play for the career shot every shot.
Yes. And then they don't hit a fairway all day, and then they're like, "I'm going to go right through here on one shot." And you're like, "Oh my gosh."
And it's bouncing on the clay tile roof. Yeah.
On the final hole, when I had that birdie on 18 at Palmyra, I was helping my cart partner off to the right look for their ball near the water, and my back was turned, and the other cart was on almost near the out of bounds line. They were left of a bunker near the out of bounds line. There's houses on the left side of this place, and just hear the absolute loudest bang. One of the left-handers proceeded to just haza one right into one of the metal partitions on somebody's screen enclosure. But it was so loud, it was just highly entertaining.
Like a baseball hitting
it was
golf ball.
Just bang. Great shit.
Yeah, those are the funny parts about it.
We had some people betting every day whether Franklin hit a shank that day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you took shank, you won money every day?
He shanked one last day. I think that was the only round he had a shank, he said.
We did an over-under on our entire house all week. No, not the first day.
We did it every day.
Did we do it the first day? Oh, yeah, based it on the practice round.
So there were 6 of us staying in the house that we were in.
Yeah.
So we'd have discussion each night prior to, and set the baseline for every single person. Then everybody in the house got to vote, including yourself, whether you were going over or under that next round.
So it was always funny, like
the deliberations. The deliberations were awesome.
I'm gonna write that one down for my trip to Florida this year.
The deliberations were awesome because
you're pretty much setting the betting market for under or over.
So we played a practice round on Wednesday. So for Thursday, we took into consideration everybody's index, and then how they played day one,
and then where you're going to be playing.
Somewhat, but really, it was just, were we going to move the line for that person from their index based on their prior day performance? So there was a little bit of a float, I think, each day for the most part.
Maybe like 2 or 3 strokes.
Yeah.
At the most.
And then some of the higher handicappers didn't really move, I don't think. It just entertaining shit when you know.
When you're looking at the
you
guy
set
across from
yeah,
it,
you're like,
you're gonna suck tomorrow.
you know, some guys are like, oh, look, a deer. And then they're like, you know, over.
It's, Clark Griswold, he's flipping off the guy next to him.
Oh, yeah. Just great shit.
I just think it's great. Like, I would just think it would be hysterical. Like, you see their index, and let's just say with their index, they're supposed to shoot 78 on this course, and you're like, I'm setting it at 81.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm taking the over. And this guy's over there like, I don't think I'll shoot 78, but I'm not going to shoot over 81. This guy's being an asshole. And then they're hitting that low hard. You know, coming down the line.
It's over.
So I think my final round was at 80, I think. And I was heading for an 80 prior to the birdie finish. So, you know, that was in my head. I'm thinking, I'm gonna hit the over here if I don't get this turned around. Or pick up a birdie coming in.
But out of the 4 days, we only had 1 day that it paid out because the rest of the 3 days were a tie.
I think the way I want to do it is I want you to just pay me $10, and you're going to do a pick 'em on everybody. And then at the end of the night, we'll see who got the most right points for the pot. Something like that,
That's
you
kind
know?
of like
It's
what we did.
essentially, yeah, we just took over under, but everybody put in $10 a day.
Nice.
And then, you know, like if there was somebody, like 2 guys had, like they went 4 and 2 that day. They just cut it for that day and rolled over.
Okay.
So
Nice.
it was fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The second part of the trip, we did a 2-man Calcutta kind of situation.
Modified, really.
Where we took the the least amount of people that had won money for the first 2 days. And they got to draw an A or a B or a C or a D, depending on where they fell. If they were a C or D, they got to draw an A or a B as a partner. And we did that for the last 2 days as like a partner game to try and
Yeah,
get those
and the only
guys.
difference is you weren't playing together in the same group. You
No.
could have been playing different groups. But the net scores, it was, what did we do? Combined net between the two?
Combined net, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what we do is this year I think there's 12 of us, so it'll be 2 6-man teams.
Yeah.
So then you're riding with your partner with 2 guys from the other team,
Yep.
and it's just like a Stableford game. And at
Yeah,
the end of the week, we add it all up, and
We had, I mean, there's probably
winner team gets the
five,
pots.
There's 10.
five,
there's at
five
least,
games going.
we have
a
at
day.
least 8 games going.
The Golf
a day.
Genius is
It
loaded
turns
with
into like
games.
too many fantasy when you're in too many fantasy football leagues where you're actually rooting against yourself.
Yeah, you know, we got combined Stableford, we got low net,
Daily Stableford.
daily Stableford, low net, the team game, which changed each day.
Skins and nets.
Skins, closest
Nets
to
and
pin.
girls.
Nice.
Then we added our house game, and then we added the.
So the
2-man
overall winner,
deal.
do you want to shout him out here?
Yeah, we'll give him a shout out. He finished it back to back. He won
Yeah.
last year, and he clipped us all this year.
Rob Scott Jr.
Yep.
Wow.
Rob Scott Jr. He.
Back-to-back winner of the Bogies and Bourbon Invitational.
Yep. He clipped Maury by 3 strokes, I think.
3 or 4.
Net.
Oh, man.
3
Were
net.
they paired up for the last day?
No.
They were
Oh,
not.
no,
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 and
no.
they were neck and neck. I mean, they were pretty
The whole
much tied
time?
until like the last 5 holes, I think.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, no.
I didn't know
it's-
if you like would pair up the leaders the last day just so there could be trash talking for the different like finishing levels. Like even if I was like in 9th place, right, and I'm going against the 8th place guy, I'm talking mad shit to try to get
Yeah.
them to 8th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. But like I said, every day is an ABCD game. So.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But no, it's a good event. Golf Genius does a good job on the event. It's a little distracting, can be distracting
Watching the live
sometimes
leaderboard is.
because you're literally watching the live leaderboard.
Is that free or did you have to pay for that?
It used to be. Now you got to pay. For like a trip manager version, it's like $142 a tournament or
An event or
an
something.
event or whatever, which is still a good price for as much as it does.
Oh, plus it calculates all your money payout. You don't have to do anything.
Oh, you
Calculates
can
all-
load up your games and
Load up your
let it go.
games.
Nice.
You can change any of those
Purses.
formats,
Yeah,
and
probably just throw out a pair mutual bet too if you wanted to do that shit. And like,
I'm
I
sure
don't-
it could.
I don't like my partner, but that other team, I want to throw some
Yeah.
money on that shit.
Yeah.
I like that.
But yeah, it does a really cool job. Like I said, it's distracting.
yeah. So one of the 4 guys enters the scores each hole. So then you pull out your phone, everybody refreshing to see what updates, you know, and
Yeah,
We're trying to speed up golf. Your group's out there slowing it down.
really
Human rain delay.
It really is.
I think it'd be cool like if it was on the GPS unit in a cart.
Yeah.
I was just kind of scrolling maybe, but yeah. Well, as a wrap up then, what What do you see yourselves needing to work on to make 2023 a successful golf season for you with your game going forward after coming off the, the midwinter trip?
I actually was not, looking back, I was displeased the day that I played, with my score. I didn't feel like I scored that well. But I think I had 4 triples for the 4 rounds. So 2 the first day, and then day 2 I had 1, and then the final. No, I didn't have one the final day. But my back was bothering me. So
Your back. You didn't sleep on a fucking couch all week.
yeah, but I had a tailbone injury.
What happened?
I just fell, slipped and fell, getting out of the pool.
Oh, so when we asked for good stories, we left that one off the. I got you. Go on.
So just first day, probably only could swing about 60%. Just couldn't go at it aggressively at all. And there's a few spots where you got to cover some water, cover this, and that really cost me a couple strokes there. So, but overall, I was not. I mean, I was right around 80. One day was 84. The rest of them were right around 80. One round under 80. So for me, that's not horrible. Fresh, first time out in a while.
Besides the
little
layoff,
injury.
I always just think I don't know what it is about Florida, but it's hard for me to score down there.
Yeah, I think the grass can sometimes do that, throw you off a
I
little
don't know if
bit.
it's the grass or the grain, or I think it's just a combination of it. I love going down there and playing, but it's just like at the end of the day, same thing. I feel like I'm always right around that scoring thing. It's like, how the f did I shoot 81?
Yeah.
I hit the ball so good, and this is why, because I double, triple, and
Yep.
took a bad line, so I had to take a penalty. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I actually struck the ball okay. I mean, there's a couple drives that got away from me, but I wasn't. I had a little one-hand finish going most of the week just to take some pressure off the back, but so I'll take it.
The old the pool story slipped through.
Now, of course, I'm playing. My driver is the driver that I've been using for years now. That thing's
dead.
This would be like the 5th season of it, I think.
Oh, you should definitely treat yourself to a new one.
But irons are a set of Joel's irons that we left down there. What are those? The 19
tours.
Yeah, Mizuno's. They're what, a little bit long or something,
Half-inch.
which I just choked down a little bit because I don't normally play that. Wedges are a different setup, 50,
Used to
54,
extra
60.
half-inch.
But I did have him
That's what
fly
she
my
said.
Bettinardi down there for me. So
Oh, nice.
with the soft face, with the fit face.
Ooh.
So
Joel, what do you got to work on? You think from that trip,
Just chipping and pitching.
get your 5-iron fixed?
you and Morikawa, huh?
Yeah, same thing.
Maybe you guys can do like a group camp
Group-
lesson thing.
You got a
chat.
cupping issue as well?
I got something issue. It's just I'm trying 10,000 different things on a chip, and it's I don't know.
Not working.
No, I don't think I have
Is
any.
that old tool? 10,000 fists in the air. Distributor tool or whatever.
Don't know that one.
I think I have to get more rotation on my upper body on chipping instead of like down and up with my body, if that makes any sense.
So when you were texting me the other day, I didn't get in. I think your chipping path is probably more of you trying to be critical like your irons. You got to kind of round it out your finish.
That's what I think too. I think the bounce is just literally digging into the turf. And my explanation to him yesterday was, I think I'm coming into impact and I'm going like this instead of around.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's creating a lot of the inconsistencies or the steep angle of attack on the golf ball. So
Maybe I should give you a lesson. I
I-
chipped the ball pretty well.
I think a good drill would be for me the
How
towel.
much do you charge?
I think a good drill would be like the towel drill where you like do the all-star thing and you tuck everything underneath your
I
armpits
thought you were doing like that cheerleader skit.
to rotate.
It wasn't a cheerleader. She was like a Catholic schoolgirl, right?
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was
they
the
were-
star
And
something.
then I pull my hands out and I smell.
Yeah,
I thought she was a cheerleader.
No.
superstar. That's the name of the movie. Yeah, I think that would help with the more rotation instead of up and around or up. So
Sounds like you're trying to hit a driver with your wedges.
I think they say like you want to round it out to where your club head finishes like Adam Scott, boom, right there in the rain, winning the Masters. You want to sorry on your chip, you want to finish it around like left hip if you're a right-hander, rather than straight. Anyways,
how about you?
Haven't played yet. Let
He
you know
didn't-
in
he
a
didn't
couple
play
weeks.
Florida golf?
I didn't get the invite this year.
I don't know.
You're
I
going
was
down
like-
there soon, aren't you?
I thought I was like Scott Stallings. Another pappy got the invite in the mail to go to
That's
this
an interesting situation.
Bogies and Bourbon Invitational. It's a hard one to crack.
I think that my next round of golf will not be for a while.
Why?
Just no plans.
Oh, okay.
Nothing scheduled. When we go down there again, we'll be working. Won't have time for golf. So yeah.
Pop Stroke though. Average Goat's Pop Stroke tournament.
Which reminds me, you still have my Bentonardi. I'd like you to bring that back to the office.
About that, we sold it
Yeah.
Not a chance.
for,
That thing's gold.
for 18 head covers.
That thing's a gold mine for me.
There you go.
So
All right, guys. Well, this was fun, and hopefully we can do this again sometime soon.
All right. Good luck on your Florida trip upcoming, couple weeks?
Couple weeks away. I'll still see you before that.
Yeah.
pars and birdies.
Oh, there you go.
He's going to shoot 80. He just told us that. He's like,
Yeah,
nice
doubles and
stroke on
triples. Here we go.
Florida. So, all right. See ya.